Love is a very strange emotion to human beings. It just happens. You feel this tingling feeling that makes you happy every time you are with someone special. It strikes at a time you least expect it to strike. It is a feeling most sweet. It paints your heart a smile which needs no reason. That more than the agony one bears for love, its reward is eternally gratifying. Let me tell you a story. A love story of a boy named John and his ever loyal and understanding girlfriend, Jessie. John and Jessie first met at a very serene place. Trees were around them and the sky was bright and clear. Agon, the sign read as he was entering the park for his regular tour. He was wandering around like he always did when he had nothing to busy himself about, enjoying the view of sun-basked leaves of trees which stood high, calmly swaying to the beats of the wind. At the corner of his eye, something caught his attention. A girl he'd never seen in the park before. She had such grace and beauty, he never would have forgotten her if he'd seen her anywhere. Like a cheesy love at first sight line, John was struck by Cupid's arrow when he first saw Jessie. Who wouldn't fall for her, he thought. He just couldn't let this chance pass, for he might never see this beauty again. He needs to know her, get her name at least. John approached Jessie and introduced himself, trying not to sound cocky for fear of scaring her away before he gets the chance to get near her. Jessie, of good upbringing, wouldn't have entertained this guy, perhaps overconfident, so easily approached her as though he was so sure she'd even talk to him. But John had this charm which could mesmerize just about anyone, and it mesmerized her. And his eyes, those big expressive eyes, tells of a gentle soul and a loving heart. She didn't even notice the time as he engaged her in the lightest, most wonderful conversation. He asked for her number, and, though hesitant, she did so with a bit of excitement, hoping she would see this boy again. And the next time she got the call from him, she felt wonderful. They continued seeing each other exclusively for quite a while, before formally declaring that they are both together. The chemistry between the two was undeniably there. It was like they were intentionally made for each other. Their relationship was strong and almost perfect. But one day, John started to change. Jessie felt the pang of fear of losing the one person she'd come to believe she could never live without. Jessie, bothered and anxious, cried almost every night. A rumor reached her ear, and it wasn't a very good one. John had been seeing someone else. She just couldn't believe it. How was it even possible? The gripping pain in her heart felt like it was gonna take its beat away. She prayed it would, for continuing to feel is just to continue suffering, agonizing. That burning pain took over her entire body. She felt limp and lifeless. She thought things had ended between them. The park they used to enjoy going to became unbearably full of those painful memories, whipping her with the awful truth. She lost him. Then one night, the most unlikely thing happened. She got a call from John, the guy who caused her immense pain.
Hello, babe. Are you there? Why did you call me?
Babe, are you alright? I'm sorry, babe.
You think sorry is gonna fix things?
I know it won't, but I just really want you to know I am really sorry.
I don't care.
Babe, let me explain.
John was down. He didn't know what to do. He knew he made the biggest mistake of his life. He lost the girl he could trust, the girl who loved him through his imperfections. He just couldn't believe he got carried away by such cheap thrills offered by some girl who'd offer the same to anyone. Nothing and no one compares to Jesse. But he just can't give up. He just can't. And he won't. For days, he sent her white roses. And day by day, Jessie felt her smile coming back. And on the 7th day, as Jessie picked the flower up, a card read, "Look out your window." And John stood there, holding a bouquet of white roses and sign he was wearing on his neck, which read,
I love you, babe. I'll stand here every day if I have to until you can forgive me.
Jessie's heart melted. Tears fell from her eyes. How could she stay mad at this guy? It's true he gave her much pain, but none of that was great compared to the happiness she felt when she was with him. Things took a better turn from that day forth, and John seemed to have found his warmth back, and he seemed to have learned his lesson, and every day became his chance to prove himself worthy of forgiveness. It seemed like a normal work day for Jessie. She got up early, punctual as always, went to work on time. But when she got there, the office was quiet. No one else was in yet. And as she walked to her cubicle, she was surprised to feel someone grab her from the back. Becca, her workmate, put a blindfold over her eyes.
See, it's Becca. We have a surprise for you, so just hang tight, honey.
What? What surprise? It's not my birthday.
We know. Just shut your mouth and hang tight. Promise, this will be quick.
Someone guided her to a car, and she heard no voice after that. After a few minutes, she felt the car stop. Someone guided her somewhere. She felt the grasses brushing lightly against her feet. She had a strange feeling this was going to be a wonderful surprise. Then they let her go. Someone finally took her blindfold off ever so slowly. And when she opened her eyes, she found she was at the park where she first met the love of her life. And he was right in front of her, on bended knees. And then he took out a ring. That could only lead to one short question, needing only a short answer.
You have been more than patient to my every flaw, and you have been most supportive. I can never thank you enough. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Babe, will you marry me?
Yes, I will.
They got married and lived together happily. However, the couple, though very much contented, were very eager to have a child. It's been 2 years since they got married, and they still haven't had one. Worried, they visited a gynecologist and sought to find out what was wrong. Years had passed and no baby. Desperate, Jessie suggested adoption. But John wanted to give themselves one more try. They made another visit to the doctor. The doctor explained to them a procedure called in vitro fertilization. The procedure sounded promising, so the couple decided to give it a try. They were more than thrilled after receiving the result. Jessie is finally pregnant. They took care of the fetus inside Jessie's womb. They've encountered trials in Jessie's pregnancy because the pregnancy was quite complicated, but nonetheless, the child was delivered in full term. Jessie and John was very happy with their very first daughter. They named their baby girl Irene Virea Flor, after the procedure which helped them bear her, in vitro fertilization.